Hello, welcome to Sleep with Young Minds Matter Gloucestershire. You're going to be participating in psychoeducation. That means learning about sleep and why it matters to you and what you can change in your own life to improve it. Young Minds Matter are a mental health service. We're part of the NHS and we work with children and young people to promote their well-being and prevent the progression of mental ill health. Today we'll be focusing on getting good sleep, the science behind sleep, what can interfere with sleep, and ultimately how we can improve it. We hope you're not watching this too late into the evening. If you are, put down the laptop to one side and come back to it tomorrow. Otherwise, grab a pen, paper, a drink, and let's get started. Of course, feel free to put on your comfiest pyjamas too. Before we begin, it's probably helpful for us to introduce ourselves. We're Young Minds Matter and we work with children and young people across Gloucestershire, and we work together with agencies you might have heard of such as Teens in Crisis or TIC Plus. That's our counselling partner. Rather than travelling far and wide to a clinic or to a building that you've not been to before, we meet you in a place that you know really well. That's your school. We do this because we want to make sure that your support for your mental health is accessible. If you do work with us, you might do low-intensity cognitive behavioural therapy, that's LICBT for short. That's 6 to 8 sessions, normally 45 minutes each, where we support people with mild to moderate mental health concerns like low mood or worry. What you say to us is confidential or private unless we're worried about you or worried about someone else in your life. To access this, you can self-refer, you can use the Young Minds Matter chat service, or you can get your school to refer you into us. In addition, we also do group work with 6 to 8 young people, or psychoeducation with a whole class, or digitally, like you're doing now. Let's rewind a moment to a phrase that you just heard, low-intensity CBT, or low-intensity cognitive behavioural therapy. That's the model of support that we offer. Low-intensity cognitive behavioural therapy focuses on our thoughts, so our cognitions, and what we do, so that's our behaviour, in order to break us out of the vicious cycle of thinking and doing that negatively impacts our mood. We offer, as LICBT practitioners, self-help and self-guided coping strategies to help you make positive changes, to empower you to feel more able to manage any difficulties that you're currently experiencing. In addition to low-intensity CBT, we can also share mindfulness strategies. So these are called side dishes that we offer in addition to LICBT, and these can be on things such as sleep and eating. If you're still curious about cognitive behavioural therapy, there's a video by the charity Mind that's brilliant, and it's called Making Sense of Cognitive Behavioural Therapy. There's a link to it on the final slide. Let's begin with a short exercise. Pause for a moment and take in the word that's on the slide in front of you, sleep. When you read this, what do you think of? What comes to your mind? Jot down now on a piece of paper all the words that you can think of. The words that you can think of may be very different to the words that other people think of, but that's okay because we all experience things differently. There's no right or wrong answer. If you'd like a little bit more time, pause the video now and get writing. Then we'll rejoin you in a moment. I'm curious to find out what you've written on your piece of paper. If you want to share it, you can comment below this video or share with your family and friends. Before we move on though, take a moment to think about what might be keeping you up at night time. Could it be that your mind is feeling busy? That you're worrying about something? Perhaps your bedroom is feeling cluttered and chaotic, or maybe your room is too light. Whatever it may be, jot your thoughts down on your piece of paper. Believe it or not, there are various stages to closing our eyes and dropping off to sleep. Thanks to science, we know about these various stages of sleep, and the breakdown of a person's sleep into various cycles and stages is known as sleep architecture. So, over the course of a night, your total sleep is made of several sleep rounds of the sleep cycle, which is composed of 4 individual stages. In a typical night, a person goes through 4 to 6 sleep cycles. Not all sleep cycles are exactly the same length, but on average they last about 90 minutes each. Sleep stages are important because they allow the brain and the body to recuperate and develop. Failure to get enough of both non-REM sleep and REM sleep may mean that there's a negative impact on thinking, emotions, and physical health. REM, by the way, means rapid eye movement, and if you look at someone sleeping, you might see that their eyes are very still or that their eyes are darting back and forth beneath their eyelids. This helps us to identify the different stages of sleep. We will now learn more about each stage of sleep. Have a read and make some notes to help your remembering. Feel free to pause the video at any time to write down questions or drawings. So stage 1 is non-REM sleep. This is the dozing off stage and usually lasts about 1 to 5 minutes. The body has not yet fully relaxed. During this period, your body and brain activities start to slow with periods of brief movements. You can easily wake someone up during this stage of sleep. In stage 2, or non-REM sleep, your body enters a more subdued state. There is usually a drop in temperature and the muscles become more relaxed. Your breathing and your heart rate slow alongside your brain activity. This stage can last about 10 to 25 minutes during the first sleep cycle, but it gradually becomes longer during the night. A typical person spends about half of their sleep time in stage 2 sleep. Stage 3, or non-REM sleep, is also known as deep sleep. It's much harder to wake someone if they're in this phase. Your brain activity, muscle tone, pulse and breathing rate decrease as the body relaxes even further. Deep sleep contributes to insightful thinking, creativity and memory. It's vital for bodily recovery and for growth. In stage 4, or REM sleep, your brain activity picks up nearing the levels seen when you're awake. REM sleep is known for the most vivid dreams. Dreams can occur in any sleep stage, but they are less common and more intense in the non-REM periods. You only enter this stage if you've been asleep for more than 90 minutes. Can you have a think about each stage of the sleep cycle now, and think about when you might be going through it in the night? So here's a question for you. How much sleep do you need? Jot down your answer on a piece of paper. To an extent, the answer to that question depends on who you are and how old you are. Children less than 2 years old need up to 16 hours of sleep. If you are between 6 and 12 years old, science tells us that you need about 9 to 12 hours sleep. Anyone over 13 needs approximately 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. So, if your parents are nagging you to get out of bed, you might want to remind them about how many hours of sleep you actually need. To recap, how long you need to sleep depends on who you are. And talking of who you are, animals in the animal kingdom have different sleep patterns. Giraffes sleep for only 2 hours every 24 hours. Some scientists think it's because it takes them up to 30 seconds to stand up, so it makes them a bit vulnerable to predators when sleeping. Lady lions go out hunting all night while the male lion sleeps and protects their cubs. Dolphins sleep with half their brain at any one time, so the other half can keep them awake, moving, and ready to fight off a predator. And bats are quite sleepy. They sleep for 20 hours every 24 hours. But in all seriousness, there's a reason why we all need these hours. First off, sleep is a natural, active process that is an essential part of life and survival. It also has biological functions and supports consolidation of memory, so all the important information you're taking in day to day, including this presentation, is stored away. It's a bit like hitting the save button when you're on a document on your computer. Sleep can also help us regulate our emotions, particularly that second half of sleep, something that we can miss out on if we get up with our alarm waking us up when we still feel tired. Studies have shown that a lack of sleep can impact on our ability to concentrate and take in information, along with how we feel and react to things. So remember, get those hours of sleep in. Sleep is a powerful stress reliever. It improves concentration, regulates mood, and sharpens our judgment and decision making. However, a lack of sleep can impact our physical health. It can lead to an increase in high blood pressure, increased risks of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. A lack of sleep can also impact our mental health. Not only does it reduce our mental clarity, but it impacts our ability to cope with stressful situations. This is partly due to the high levels of cortisol, the hormone our body releases in response to stress. So let's link up what we've been talking about with cognitive behavioural therapy. Do you notice changes in your mood? Are you feeling a bit more irritable, sad, or hyperactive when you get less or disturbed sleep? How about any changes in your thinking? Have you noticed any aches or pains in your body? Or are you having difficulties concentrating in lessons? And how do you react in situations? Do you have shorter fuse and raise your voice? Or do you avoid situations a bit more? In the way that thoughts, feelings, and behaviours can cause or worsen sleep, a lack of sleep can also increase those tricky thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. So, by improving sleep, we hope there'll be improvements to your mental health and well-being too. Sleep hygiene is another way to describe good sleep habits. So here are some tips for promoting good sleep hygiene that are backed by lots of research and evidence. We're going to spend some time thinking about strategies that have been identified to help long-term solutions to sleep difficulties anyone may be experiencing. Here are 5 simple ways to aid sleep hygiene that we'll be going to take a little bit more time to explore together. A bedtime ritual, your bedtime environment, your body clock, unplugging devices, and avoiding clock watching. Take a moment to pause and think about your bedtime ritual. What does it look like at the moment? And what things could you introduce into your bedtime ritual to promote positive sleep hygiene? In the next 2 slides, we've included ideas you can include in your own bedtime ritual. See what works for you. Think about stretching. If you've been sat at a desk all day or hunched over a computer, you might feel stiff and have cramped muscles. Take a few minutes to stretch out your muscles and let your body know it's time to wind down. What about a long walk? Being outside in the evening, disconnected from technology, can give time and space for reflection. It can also help your mind to cool down and your body to unwind. It signals to your internal body clock that it's time to sleep. Closeness. Spend some time with someone close to you. Talking about your day with someone close to you is a great way to de-stress, reflect, swap stories, and recharge. Meditate. Give yourself some time to calm that busy mind or racing thoughts by mastering meditation. It can take a while to get into it, but stick with it as it could be a great way to end your day. Have you ever told yourself that you'll go to bed earlier the next night because when you wake up in the morning you feel so tired and groggy? But when that next night comes, you're finding it really hard to sleep. Your body clock thinks it's time to party, so you end up staying up late again. Well, perhaps it's time to create a bedtime ritual. First, audit the day. So that means write down 3 things that went well and 3 things that didn't. Taking a moment to see the good in each day can help you appreciate the progress that you are making. Make tomorrow's to-do list today. A clear to-do list can help you wake up with a sense of purpose and clarity about what's ahead of you and still the mind before sleep. Set out what you need, whether it's your lunch for tomorrow, an outfit or a uniform. It can save time in the morning so you feel more prepared. A hot shower or bath. The purpose of a bedtime routine is to help you to relax and de-stress. So, if you like a nice shower or a hot bath with lots of bubbles, treat yourself. Water has a way of soothing the mind and crystallizing ideas. Let's look at the lack of sleep vicious cycle. So, you're up late one night and you think, I won't stop doing what I'm doing until I'm done. But then the next morning you find it hard to wake up. You promise to yourself that you'll get more sleep. But because you've had a nice lie in, you have enough energy to stay up late again. And then you're either too hyper or as alert as a zombie to go to sleep. And so you think, oh, I'll keep going until I'm done. But then the next morning comes again and you find it hard to wake up. But you can break out of the negative, vicious cycle of the lack of sleep. The human body follows an internal timekeeping system known as the circadian clock. This internal clock regulates the body's natural circadian rhythm, your daily cycles of sleep and wakefulness. In order to effectively alter your circadian rhythm or sleep schedule, it helps to set one first. So let's think about how you can reset your body clock to a regular sleep-wake cycle. Choose a bedtime and a wake-up time. Stick to these times every day, even on weekends or days off. Try to avoid staying up late or sleeping in for more than 1 or 2 hours, so there's a little bit of flexibility, but not a lot. By following a regular schedule, your internal clock can develop a new routine. Over time, you'll be able to fall asleep and wake up with ease. And remember, when you wake up each day, go and see some sunlight. Our natural body clocks work on 24 to 25-hour cycles, but the day is just 24 hours. So from the moment you're awake, you need to tell your cycle that it is 24 hours and reset that clock each day with some morning light. Clock watching. Try to avoid it if you can. The more you clock watch, the more you may be tempted to count down the many hours, minutes, seconds that you have left until you have to be up. We're all guilty of it, me included, but instead we can put some distance between ourselves and those numbers. If you like to fall asleep with some kind of sound, swap the ticking for some white noise or relaxation music. Tick tock, stop checking that time. It's important to start off by saying there is no such thing as a perfect sleep environment. It's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to creating the best bedroom for sleep. We all have different tastes, myself included, and what I might find relaxing, you might not. Some people may prefer a very quiet sleep environment, others might like some degree of noise and find it comforting. Some people may prefer to sleep in complete darkness, while others prefer some light. You get the idea. But one thing that is the same for all of us is that your bedroom needs to be primarily for sleep. Your bedroom also needs to be comfortable, a place that you feel able to relax in. If your bedding doesn't feel like a big hug you don't want to leave, then it's time to change. Consider the tog factor of your duvet, your mattress, the firmness of your pillows. All these things can have an impact on getting good sleep. Time to unplug our devices in order to switch off ourselves. Research suggests that the blue light from our computer, phone or tablet screens makes it difficult for our bodies to fall asleep due to reduced serotonin levels. Blue light has a high energy, and we don't need high energy when we want to nod off. Serotonin is known as the sleep hormone, and reduced levels can impact your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. Not only does it benefit sleep quality, it can also benefit time management skills, health, and posture. So rather than scrolling through Twitter or getting absorbed in a new Instagram account, unplug and switch off for the night. You deserve the rest. You might also want to think about the way that you use your devices before sleep. Stop the endless scrolling and liking on social media and reduce your distractions. If you really do need some sort of distraction in the form of TV, think about using an LED screen. Green light from an LED screen is less energetic and won't be as disruptive to your sleep as a blue light screen such as an iPad, a mobile phone or a laptop. Well done for keeping engaging in this presentation. We've already covered a lot of things, but before we finish, here are a few more tips and tricks that you can try at home to help you to get good sleep. Maintain a healthy diet. Bad foods can make us feel tired and lethargic. Exercise and keep busy in the daytime. This helps our bodies notice the difference between movement in daytime and bedtime where we're stiller. Try not to go to sleep feeling hungry and try not to overeat before bed because this can disturb our ability to fall asleep. Write down your worries on paper, in a diary or a journal. This can help draw out our thinking from our brain onto something concrete so that we can still our mind and feel calm before rest. You might want to take part in some mindfulness colouring if that helps to calm your mind. If you're still struggling to get to sleep, get up, go to a quiet space such as the living room, do a quiet activity, and when you're sleepy, try again. It's about retraining our brains for when we're ready to sleep. A word search, crossword, or Sudoku can be another calming way to calm the mind. Or try reading a book. Mindfulness can set the stage for sleep by allowing you to be more aware of your thoughts and be able to let anxieties go instead of getting stuck on them. Mindfulness has been said to quiet the brain and allow for deeper sleep. So here we have listed some useful apps and given a couple of meditations to try out. Get comfy, close your eyes and relax. Thank you for joining us for this presentation on getting good sleep. We hope that you found it helpful. If you feel like you would like further support for your well-being, you can refer yourselves to Young Minds Matter. You can do this by texting the Young Minds Matter chat on 07480 635 723. Alternatively, you could ask a trusted member of staff at your school to complete a referral on your behalf. Or there are other services available for you to seek support from. We've included the links, so when you feel that you would like support, please contact them. Before we go, earlier we mentioned that if you're curious about low-intensity cognitive behavioural therapy, the charity called Mind has a really good video. Here's a link on making sense of cognitive behavioural therapy. That's it now from Young Minds Matter NHS. Thanks for listening and well done on investing time in developing your understanding about sleep and your well-being.